boomerang. And when I say boomerang, you're maybe thinking about the colorful ones, the ones that come back. Sorry. But what I'm actually referring to is hunting boomerangs. They've been used to hunt for thousands of years. They fly for hundreds of meters, and they hit stuff hard. And also, they don't come back. Hopefully. And so, I want to figure out how boomerangs work. Make a lethal one, and then test the range and the damage against a bunch of different targets. The material I'm gonna use to make the boomerang is polycarbonate, which is a kind of plastic known for being incredibly tough. To demonstrate that, I'm hitting a polycarbonate panel with a 16-pound sledgehammer as hard as I can. And well, the first shot I just wanted to test my face mask in a very dramatic way. So then I tried again. Still though, as you can see, polycarbonate is very good at absorbing energy, and that's mainly thanks to its ability to deform and then go back to its original shape. Is that thing, like, trying to fly? And after all that, it only has a few light scratches, but it's basically brand new. Moreover, polycarbonate is completely transparent, and I believe the boomerang is gonna look pretty unique because of that. If you've been following the channel, you know I already made a rough version of a sword out of polycarbonate, and besides all my design mistakes, like way too thick, the sword actually looked pretty good, and it worked pretty well as an axe. And so, by keeping a thinner profile compared to what I've used with the sword, I believe polycarbonate is gonna work very well for what I have in mind for the boomerang. Like slicing and destroying stuff. Now, to pick the shape of my boomerang, I have to figure out how a boomerang works the way it does. I mean, if you think about it, it's just a piece of wood or plastic that somehow glides through the air and can even come back. Unlike a regular stick. So how? After a bit of research, I found an article called Boomerang Theory and a few YouTube videos that explained exactly what I needed. I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible, but it's fascinating. It turns out a boomerang is basically two plain wings attached to each other's. What I mean is that the cross-section of the wings of a boomerang allows them to act as airfoils. And so, as they move through the air, the difference in pressure between the top and the bottom surfaces generates lift, kinda like in a plane. That is why a boomerang is able to travel much further in the air than just a regular stick. And so, in terms of cross-section, I'm gonna go for a shape like this. But all that doesn't explain why normal boomerangs come back and hunting boomerangs don't. Basically, as the boomerang spins, the leading wing that moves in the direction of the throw generates more lift than the trailing wing that moves against it. And this creates torque. And if the boomerang was just flying in the air without spinning, it would probably flip because of the torque. But since it's spinning, the torque doesn't flip the boomerang, but simply makes it slowly turn and come back. Now, based on my research, and I'm only saying that because I'm not 100% sure, but I guess we'll find out. The reason why a normal boomerang acts like that, and a hunting boomerang doesn't, is the angle between the wings. A steeper angle between the wings reduces the lift differential between the leading wing and the trailing wing. A boomerang creates just enough lift to stay airborne, but not enough to loop back. And so, based on that, here's the shape of the boomerang. I designed it in CAD, I printed it, and now I can just crop the shape out of a polycarbonate panel using the bandsaw. And the reason I made two boomerangs is because I'm pretty confident I'm gonna mess one up in the next step. So I'm gonna keep the bottom part flat, as it is, and shape the top part to act as airfoil, and also be kinda sharp. This is the hardest step of the process. Polycarbonate is actually quite hard to work with. It's pretty hard to remove the material, and if I just tried to increase the speed of the machine, the plastic would just melt. And so, it took a while. But I just focused on being patient, trying to keep the cross-section as consistent as possible throughout the length of the wings. And after a while, I was done. And here's how it looks. Bad. It looks kinda bad. It's okay though, because now, before thinking about making it look nice, I need to see if it actually works. Meaning, if it actually flies. The target is at about 40 meters. If it flies still there, it's a win already. Also, I thought the boomerang was not sharp at all, but before leaving the shop I randomly tried to hit a box, and look at this. And the first throw honestly surprised me already. And well, at least it works. And while I go get it, I want to tell you about Game of Thrones Legends, a brand new game they just released. If you're a fan of the show and you like games, you should definitely check this out. In Game of Thrones Legends, you get to team up iconic characters like Jon Snow or Rhaenyra Targaryen. And it's a puzzle RPG, which means you get to match gems to power up your characters and unleash their special abilities. You can collect and upgrade characters, pair them with their signature weapons, and take on battles. The visuals are great too. It feels like you're right in the middle of Westeros. It basically has that classic Game of Thrones feel, with a new twist. And so, if this sounds like your kind of game, you should definitely give it a try. You can download Game of Thrones Legends by clicking the link in the description or scanning this QR code you see right here on the screen. By downloading now, you're gonna get 50 gold, 3000 food, and a daily summon token to start your journey. He broke the trunk, and the boomerang is perfectly fine. The second throw kinda went the same way. Incredibly bad aim, but nice range.
No, that's insane. This thing flies.
I think it will fly for 100 meters or something. For sure I gotta work on my aim, but this is a win, honestly. Last attempt. And well, right now I'm thinking that I'm gonna lose the boomerang 100%, that my aim is embarrassing, and that I'm very excited because of how far it flies. Alright, that was a